Well, Edika about on Kaida than the US to say, nay, engineer Kwabena Agyei Agyapong, Aberdeen Comohan say, T, or no be as I say, a can one back SMP. The dinner Ashita, a will fee BMO Ghana and beyond the shores of a Ghana. Comono, a new patriotic party in Common, and Comono a Ghana and Common, and Uncommon a self factor, and a here, so on Sutimiti be pie. Ira, Kwabena Agyapong.
Major Souvenir.
Matching. Because I bring my show for Tiago Kensi with some you are still the same. And several details. What continues to be that secret? Because the last time I checked, now the Joy FM me girl bar come referee. Now all exercise was not your interview. Aisha. Yeah. The Kwabena Agyapong way back is still Kwabena Agyapong same. So probably what's the secret?
Oh, so what dream pa na wa kuma pa. Na usuru nyame na aginyame di na wani mbradia. Tembia na we relaxed.
Adwene da form bo.
Adwene da form man dwen nipa ho adwen boni. E na fa boni so che. Men fa niema enhye mu. Because if you are so nam na da bia why better tension wo so a. Wo na wonimu de why wo boni no kro nam kra bia onim se wo buafu. Ono nam ne baby. Nti tembia ni nyina so chense wo do hu dan Yankopon na wo sire nyame no ma wo sa emotional intelligence na emotional strength no na wo to me deal with issues we are see they say battles and challenges nti wo do tembia na wo scale na kaka
battles and challenges.
Yes,
and we have to admit,
of course na say we are say any straight line. So in fact it me cost na aba from yes, it is not the amount of times that you fall, but how you get up from your fall. So, inti mem sre Ghana for nse ma na mokeken. Say no. Ye ya ma oman no sika edi anim.
Oman no.
Nipa no pi sa nuado kasapa eni die eni ebu na ewo oman mu. Say efiri ho. Kasi say nipa tete e kra no. Yentiti nipa yi. Nti akwala kasa kire panin a because panin ni fie ye titi ye no hu obi anyesi wa o di buo ma na to start with o kan sem na ne nya adwen kra ye wo kwan fa so a woni no disagree nanso ene mo am nkrofo ebi TV so where some be use edidi atem e bedidi nipa atem didi ahemfo atem bedidi president atem bedidi enye suben bi abagana ha ya no no aye ya dodo. Oh, nti yenya sai suban no. It has affected our politics. Enama enkola na efrechi no so no. Sa enidie na ye di ma ye mpanyimfo e beto won. Omunya sa enidie na ma. Na say me na me nam kwan ho na say me hwe. Even your dressing kra, me feel say assessor. First, untimi fatari bi kra mfrifie.
Ya ho sisi no.
Enye ha adwen pa. We dey Mr. Mekon. Who is a taxi driver and I say trotro because now to be cry nebia unsisi no take no sorry no pa ko Japan no near there o ma botai dress fine so until so wo betra car no so nti minim say we are see edin so edin cry first bend down with digo wetin ma kwa to canvas papa ne bo onye de force cry so obi ehu wato ade so na ehyew fine na say enkola na ba no dress yi cry obi a hye slip in fact me count ni pa by 20 na 9 18 hye slippers ekrom na ona ko pori bibi cry say obetime pra so kan
fi abaso an ye di ana ye doors no ye jai no open that young se bibi from ba
say unse your generation no there I can say we are the luckiest generation. Ye hu the way we are say asesa. The papa no mo ehun no. Ye abeto. Mrante no once the ehun ye no mo ehun. First now person your phone call like just okotena external services. 3 days circle has say. Yeah wine say and no crowd phone crowd betum obi akasa WhatsApp obi hu no. E we are say asesa. Flat screen and emotion na bi ni ho. Television na super be at 29 inch kakaka on frenetic oponi bi black and white na eti and so we happy people the American say the younger generation, because of abefo niema and internet and the anti and kolano so much especially musical videos na eno de ye kire o entertainment nya sa na nipa life tie but kolano me hu ze so much say na they want to live their normal life it said the year bonyo
the body century you ya contribute to positively or negatively
I think that significantly the my musumu ka ho enye giso Ghana no siko fancy abaye enterprise obi wo sika kakra na nipa ehuhu eje ne so enya de a efata so nti man kola nyina first ko bi ne tie yi kra e ka se bodani na be hia nipa ne tiri nwi te se me no die ebi a 2 out of 10 obi hia nsoma de
aka nyina tete
ya je niema basa tare kra na hia se ni atete atare na se efe nti niema ni bi ho I think say yesua matra. Oh, these are the social problems in Ghana. Hano, they say you kasa only about political problems, but social problems ne so. End up social problems so baby a here walk around a dozen. Who the opako? Baby a holding oh enkrahasi. And I jo hokra no munano. Ye winsa kibabu ni chese mi pese me bohodi ba munyina munim. Uko baby ase bi ho no ye yika. Kwa nwumre by 10 obi a che ne fie no. O manda. Enti there's a certain situation that if we don't deal with it, and there's also population explosion. Ghana minyini eniti eni enoso. Ani ko twemu 10, na kakra 15. They say you twemu 31 million say
37.
Afi they do 37. It say o man no space no dey increase that.
No one
Opportunities no so restricted. Enti no as you produce nkolai sa anti nya baby e ma wo. And almost so you're frustrated. Oh, auntie, we have a big issue. But we've as you're dealing with it frontally. Yeah, politicians, you count no crack. Na yes, Kolano so say we are say ubra and san wenya. And a life and yes simple. Me a university, me be a national service, Ghana Highway Authority. Na me ti one room wo a Jowulu. Me name me mate back no da yam pada one crunchy. Or rise here by a deputy chief executive Ghana Highway Authority. See, so I know pa. Ye nanti near bedroom pig farm. That time na trot to be a friend in Jatalans. Ubi a mama to Jatalans. Then the name I say. Miss me, I'm a bomb see you teenager. To mate news of a papa no reserve front to our na edimeko that I no votel ni ho na ho ye park, lorry park. So, nti no u could drew up na ma twam na meko Highway Authority. Sa na e start here. Kakra. So we adwuma kakra na ja wako afei free ho no wako han dan waware na wo ye no kakra.
But since when e be bad the real issues. But since when asa kasa we o kasa ye kasa papa e be ye enene mafui preaching or any lectures o kasa kwaro mo se
on be kasa we o fashion. O kasa say nam kasa over the last maybe 20 years advent of social media and nema. Then say be obi didi kra na otwa na odekire o didi a efo bi ho be o trample mu a na odekire say o take business class ade yeah we've become a very showy people and yeah
but you're empty
who say
you're empty
me pese me kasa
the me kasa the question is trait no ho say u didi no now they now we now they channel and no o dey say yenya dey
I don't know. Oh, and yes, the internet never forgives. Yana nkola no refi. Said that you been nan say crowd yes we call it me profile o. Na hwe ne ma.
Social
because who sabi ana I say nkola bi kro ne girlfriend ni di agono mo e video ye ho ne ade. Wachina no mo break up. Na we e de oh. And never be o ha ma yenye. Ye nkyere nkola no say. Sa personal discipline very important. Na ni nyina is lost on us. Because we go school, cry na the way and Crawford. Now those days you go take. You go classes, professors ni who attire or got just say, "Call ni say ni address." Appearance is very important. You have to dress well. Untimi she sent be a sense home basa.
But it's the opposite now.
Just a sentari bibi en
wa mu nyina gu.
Enye good. Nti na efre ema aketesia. Ye kata so esi oh nti me ekwesa na aye se de me aye conservative. Me a conservative.
No,
Yeah.
I share the same
I
line.
enjoy life. I love life. Me be a miswana me call out me my DJ crowd. First year head honest. Me nyom ni ade. Enti life can be enjoyed and should be enjoyed. Na enkola no say enema ha and sanom drugs. Ne so enye free. Me dey say bibi bekumi a ma de ade e de nkume. Ene aduane kura me di ne mawu a better say menom nsa na mawu. Na say so nye say de chew.
Oto.
Jot yen say de chew.
Ne
boarding.
We are addicted to it as well.
Aha, until when you scar the better aduane papa e die no. Na de nom nsa. So, and society don't yen kasa about it. These social issues, parenting is poor now in our country.
Because 3 months on the quarter crutch or trying to brabo so into your country, Aquarano Crano, the
parenting is very important. And as a society,
chief is part of it too.
Because we are living beyond our means. So we are saying, Macau Hada, say, Sika, edit your mind. And no, the better, down or the bedroom, a duania obedi, the old bay abouma. Yen now dreams say any year, my. Sika de eye nka senye adepa nanso enye se yesum sika so hu dem chire no na yenhwe na society na ebuo kasapa so no bi yense nipa engu nipa ni ase enkekensem a emfata ya no ya say oman so enye good. I think say as Ghanaians we had a culture of respect so nti wu nyina na enkwala no hu a now, almost a dream said they will be like you.
Well, maybe I'm a more than the blame factor and two bear 3 steps and the kind pie. One anya quenya, some bay a candy for say ya him for. Say a central human, say a man yourself for, say a sofa, and a cool recognized.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm say because we've lowered the standards.
Yeah.
Any should be a piano. The baby I'm TV and I radio, I'm say. Ebrebi ba na PAV and Samone Cabral Mone Ipeku bi wo Beatrice Edu Mone Charlie Sam Mone Sa Rockling mean contra a certain level.
Yeah.
It me who quiet for as well.
Well, I think say I blame one National Media Commission and a National Communication Authority. Me who we call man be as well TV stations doors to say Ghana.
Ebino.
Me see me two kwan pa. Me will be a traveling is one of my two kwan around the world. Most countries have been there. Na say me free penny bi ewo me more station needing. Because anopa me call be office. Na about 11. Film money ye or so no. I'm say, hey, working hours. Anopa o. I say romantic movie near de. Tina met in the office. I said this is inappropriate. Timmy Frey, director of television, I'm saying, Ade, money programming papa at this time. And no anaju, and collided that, then penny 4% relaxing. Then you do that. And me, I'm against the licensing of stations based on religion. So we are a secular state. I'm a Christian and a strong one at that. But me feel say a man radio station, I say or so 4% or a year. Obey me about anopa morning devotion.
Why not you know?
No, anaju. Those is Vincent Assis say no contemplations. Yes. Na efe. And obey me on one station. Na obiti so. No pollute the minds of people. Obiti so. Or ton enuro. Enuro no cra. Just and then it's being allowed. We are poisoning people. Their minds. Onim because who say bibia by radio so nasa about people paper dey na friend graphic all those times or holiday. Or say about graphic into no cray. So these are things. So National Communication Authority. Some of the stations I think say they don't have to be given licenses.
They don't. Okay.
Which is always about programming because programming
they don't.
You will news, entertainment, you will sports, you will nema, you will culture, you will say so languages, nema, and every station should fit that kind of description. You can't have a station say me there sorry a station. Now no, I don't like that kind of thing. And I adore so and a hankrofo and ye pollute omo and I would tie nsem ni bi a omo ka oh ukọ ne aka che so ma menye o papa nye
no
we are say ne ntokwa we are say so we need to really change that, and I think the National Communication Authority, the Media Commission, the content, the editorial content, and also the owners of broadcasting, Giba, owners. They should have well-trained presenters. So, omo journalism school. Yeah, certify omo. So, because nipa ni bi betra ho a, journalists ni bi abe mercenary.
Hi.
So, yes mano.
Very poisonous.
Because I way, say, and someone enim kra na oka.
But honest, a very critical point.
Yeah, honest, no, very important. And they should be up and doing. They should be up and doing.
All right, so remember somebody saying come away proper, but it's so worrying. Me just say baby, I will to be our office and I say we fee baby, I will share when you say kwenya way I will TV no. Kosona apply the positives because at the end of the day, you Ghana back open na you na. Yeah, chichiri. And no other than make one message. It's not about the NPP or the NDC. Say yes, central for no so the Ejina Brani. Then the credi pa ye juma. O mine ye be boa man yourself for no. I'm an Ejina Brani. But titi can't say Ghana fun into me fra. They be at the animal comes out. Maybe from 1989. Let's Ghana be fun into my pie fra. And tomorrow ya pega sa be seen ne. Intimate from grade and from fry. A typical example, they make a crack Kumasi Road. We school ayeba tema mehwe me wofa se kwan no se sitie no ya tena ho saa we ba no abeso kakra for over 30 years. Major road is still there. It's very useful information engineer there man no. So I think say obia parent in the fee school a teacher for asori asofo yen demonstrated that saa su any ban in the yona it me beti maka say we are proud Ghanaians. Yemo mine won yen because Ghana my yankasa ye mine. Conversation proper engineer. Now I can crack quickly enough me and toa yen common so ewa hanum say we free the new patriotic party ho ana Abba. Justin Kodia, secretary and Sasha say is about the proposal. So regional and constituency secretariat of the party, general secretary, circulation. Okay, so all party executive and members, in accordance with Article 19 of the Constitution of the new Patriotic Party, the General Secretary of the party having received proposals for constitutional amendments from members of the party and identifier groups, hereby circulates as attached these amendment proposals. As earlier communicated, National Council, in line with the spirit of the party's constitution and established convention, constituted a 9-member Constitution Amendment Committee to, among other things, categorize and streamline the proposals into amendment motions and make appropriate recommendations to guide the considerations and debate at the Extraordinary National Delegate Conference. Party members and executives are therefore urged to make time to peruse the proposals ahead of the party's Extraordinary National Delegate Conference, which is scheduled to take place at the University of Ghana Stadium, Accra, from 18th to the 20th of July 2025. We signed the General Secretary, Justin Kodia Frimpong. So amongst those people proposing for certain changes to be effected or amended is right here, Engineer Kwabena Agyei Agyapong, a former General Secretary. Once again, Akwaba. So amongst your proposal, no, and why this time?
Say a kotuabano, you could go din pa. And a banasa, as a Bruni Becca say you have to take care of your internal situation. Na wash the course. Apart from that, party no so Emma Professor Kwe committee echo around the country. Mrs. So there were a lot of platforms, NPP platforms. Until why much shima but who the ha party for. I think one item runs through unanimously. Baby, say a delegate system, a big problem. Am I? Until Professor Okwe, Oba National Council on the 16th of April, or you see a certain word, was say many people feel the delegate system is broken. This idea is broken. It's a sign she no for. Timiye proposals. Ni titru ye mienu a constitutional amendments The third one no dey na a suggestion adwenkyerɛ. Na ade a mehu Ghana no say tem bia no say wo de adwenpa ka asɛm ana wo kyerɛ wadwen a ebinum ahyehyɛ wɔn agenda bi say tompe na ɔmafa de ne bia wo ka no kra na yɛde to America. Me can say the here party no say wohwɛ apathy ba ye strongholds in the last election. Party for no tetnine some person mo kyerɛ ade sɛ wɔn ankɔ a yɛni abam enti yɛntie de wɔn ka no de wɔn ka no sɛ wɔn pɛ sɛ kom benya nka party ni bi a ɔwɔ card a wɔtua ne dues de kɛse utimi eto aba or voting right, and that should be the ultimate aim. So me imagine me ni nipa PD when feel say ebinum feel say possible, which is fine. It may be a difficult thing to accomplish within the minimum time because constitution needs to say by December 6, 2026 no, we should have in place a flag bearer. O co-elections so ono na ne hu hia kese. Ti me dwen ho an am say look, se bia ebeye ding say yebetimi aye one man one vote na. Because many IT department kasaye on our database you register only 184,000 members.
NPP.
Yes.
Data no.
I know the enyanwa because even call big political parties members in the end no so because voters are different from members. Obi otoma but
on your member.
Obi so our sympathizer. Ye wo no tum. Any almost obi our activists and so on your card bearer. So there are different categories of party people. Enti enyanwa say nipa a work card no and no so Conservative Party no nyina 300,000 no na ade party registered members be and also. Enti etimi banesa. Enti say pese use card bearer members there. Yemfa ne say nipa 4.4 million plus to abama ya na 6 million plus to aba in 2020. Unya omu nyina say obeko by yemfa say Conservative do pese who register nipa 1 million cra. Enya deketwa. Because a net plastic card is about 20 cedis. Some are even saying 30 cedis. It means party no has to have 30 million to put it in place and also have a logistical arrangement, architecture be or former ubetimi distributor microphone. And no enough. It can be done. And I think say committee no say start initiative processes so that by 2028 we'll have a strong membership architecture around the whole country. Mr. Demijidi said, all politics is local. And to say also we're a member of a party, you have to belong to a constituency. So, and me say, baby, me to me dues, me krum. Although me belong to Ayawaso West constituency, hona me twaba. Nti me were 2 party cards. 92 there, Ayawaso West. 96 there, that an Asukwa East, and I asked once. So, a book be a home. And me can say it may be difficult to achieve this within this a year, dear. And now, young farmer party for and the names of the party na aye juma or party no. To say polling station executives, to say electoral area coordinators, to say constituency executives, to say regional executives, national executives, both current and former. Young constituency be create a caucus of these people. Niemfa almost aye ministers da, deputy ministers da, DCs da, any MPs da. Because we be anywhere yasese be with the MP be 2 terms, 3 terms. Why a regional secretary da? And na ye kotoaba unti wakunya suntino. Ye mfro unka ho. Ema umoto umakra beka say me papa the way a party here treating them me me nkodom party no bi. And I made that proposal as the main proposal. Say yetimi yesa. Adadafo na yeja won akire no nyina be kenyan.
They are part of the process.
They are part of the process. They are part of the decision making process. So from 92, na so onwu no te asekra dia. Eso otimi beto aba. Because Mpensenpensenmu no mo menhia no mukura party, Penny Asabre no ma no mukura party. Uko Bosume frɛ ho ya Agyei no ondo de tiase.
They should play a role.
Of course. Omu experience. And Agyei da kotisunyan. Former regional minister, former MP. multiple times MP and
minister.
You could talk about say on count and I SK Buafo and I say ya very much Kufuria. Yeah, sir. Just same way. The me feel say it should be a no-brainer. A beboa obia a beka party no so abom and kabom any here or party because they do draw and there. The am there ne say committee no Agyei me to mu on some of these. Ni nyina in fact essentially. Na mum de me hu anya me there. Emma me sorry or council busa chairman say polling station for them some auntie. Almost na dose. Oho so na adwumaden wo. Eho na nipa tu ne ho che. Eko house to house. Just say they sacrifice and volunteer without getting anything in return. And that is what we want of our political activists. Enti womu de, womu na esefata. Nti se yesi adadafo ni nyina meka ho de a. Enka mesese we no de, kese womu ka ho. Enti eyade a already a bar council na no nka ho. Ye say the nipa 2 bi ene ekoka 5 no. Na che say adadafo na omu de omu metu bi ana. Ene sa enye ye because ye gidi say si etrem na nipa no dɔɔso a siketua ne ade ne influence ebeba for ano be brasi so ena wo hwɛ say wo register no polling station na electoral college na 2022 ne yi won in kebetimi akɔ back to 2018 for no list no wo ho of course it became 2022 you but e dey be 100,000 bi de omo wa akiri ne akɔ 2014 ne akɔ 2010 it's a 209 ne call Congress war trade fair any yes our polling station ya dey uko beyond 2 na wards enti eno so ye woni pa ho a omu nyina bi de tiase a omu di here say na NPP to aba na say bibia menka ho bi eni pasata me wiase e din 92 a ehu asojafo tatae no ono na di ne sika ne bibia de bua party ma party gina e na kura bia so ye fan say boduma say na say
so in essence let's get back to the core,
let's get back to the roots and on American let's get back to our roots and bring all those people into the electoral college. It will make it extremely difficult for anybody to use money to manipulate them. So, and I suggest you the buy. Me da one say omo G2 ni nyina mu former ministers better, former MPs better, former executives better, any other year me kan ni nyina. Na so polling station for omo doors na omo hihia no. Em say hono de amem. Enti me ye madwen say party no emran de dey adwuma. Enti the councillor take a decision and say the general secretary or send the decision to the constituencies. Na constituencies you should be where be peruse me de pa. Na just on be pay mo ahwe. Be hwehwem. Na me I start a free party for no say mesre wom. Omo hwem yo omo kanto so say polling station for no hu ne hia pa. Adadafo na ye yi o mafrim because NPP ade hayen kese eye polling stations no because nipa 5 pen to abandi say na ka say e koto polling station e hu de ni ade
nipa enum
say within that polling station so enti obi be MP a na wa ya na wa yi bi afrim another MP ba no so yi bi afrim nti won krofo bebre a wa akira
twitwiri ni
yaudie Inti say timi pass sa de we ya obi a why polling station member da bia no say you free mo say dey yo say dey ya ma voting right inti ns ye ka say enko to polling station you kra enya gidigidi because me kra me am always say kra man ko gina bi kra meto aba so inti it removes all the tension and the confusion at the base of the party na afeso atre base no and allows everybody to play a part of inti no there enwieye enti constituency for no me fasa akwenye bebi obi atie me bia no se general secretary yi na odi aba no munso mu wi a na e ba congress a munso mun take decision say mo be kan kire party no say yemfa police station for no me kan ho na nwie ano mo po fefefe so with the mission because congress is the highest decision making body.
Okay, so before we get to that, get throw more light on that point. There's a novelty say more person deba. That is the issue about flag.
And no make a oh, because and I make say proposals me the way na here make say. And a here party for no. Say a form no yes stronger. And the energize the party.
But that should be the case.
Enti make us say yetimi ye ne sa na ye biem ne obe 1.5 to maybe possibly 2 million delegates there. Not just a party from no aye organized. Se ba no sa dia ka me ma dwen mu ne sa dwen kire o. Say a prepare no ya no ya ye hye. Ne ma bi e koso no. Enka me pese bia ye nye presidential primary no first. Man ka say intem me say first.
Eni ebra ya hihya ase na wi no.
Ya hihya ase na wi hwe proposal let me say me send you a copy. So to wo kan ya. Me say after we have achieved the expansion of the delegate system, I'm calling it a limited expansion because any party fu nyina. But when we omo ma ya adwuma party omo de obroni beka say they are verifiable, they are identifiable and they are quantifiable. You bet me hwe o ma no. Apart from ewu and now obi a we say wasesa the party. Once they still owe allegiance to the party. No. Yeah. Obu a the ambassador. Wa boa constituency binti constituency betim de na ba as a patron. No the man voting right. And now as an elder in the constituency. Nti we nyina mhihye ni nyina e de ma. You know. Nanso so say bi nye nipa ba akwan adwen na ye de chichire party. Ti ye go council no committee no de om de ba ani. It's a step forward, but we should not leave out the base of our party. Intermediate still I mean there I advocate say base no and sorry na through the constituencies no. One take a decision say yemfa polling station adada for ni na emeka ho. The pressure what party mu nyina be conform. Because me be general secretary. There are certain 7 constituencies there and they beto in be inherited from Sir John. They be an entokwa. Me am krom secretary for yi. Mampong Kumeu Ejuso Jabe say Manshia North Debia because hono em so what assistant MPs the MP be about also pen and for the best inum 2 BTS anaju 2 am yakoye police station na ye BFM na odina koma na odi akotena fie so sa etimi sa amendment we na e kase former polling stations emeka Electoral college. It kills that. One. And where are there benefit obi in particular? Benefit yenina.
So it's the party.
It's the party.
Not individuals.
Not individuals. Menya see ye bibi e be mani pa fu said that be semra ma nipa baako. Yenya no sa. Ye de osun no na yeson. That is what should animate whatever we do as politicians and as patrons of the NPP. And to me, I haven't lost hope. And say between now and 19th, ye Legon conference. Me so me nipa me friend nipa e kasa kire omo me bo hu the rules. Say me tuka akra akọ constituencies ni bi na me ko share kan say look. Say mo yes ade we ya e be boa yen. Nti mo ma ayifo no nyina me ka ho. Na party no entre. Na everybody will now have a sense of ownership, a sense of belonging to the party. Na etimi ye enu wie a. Na ye nyina hu say ya expand to include everybody. And no, all former appointees, any current ones now. And no, na say a person ye presidential prime no entema ebeboa because they say no, say. O man say o person we constituency election. Wo mo ayi eti say o mo person o mo edi say adwuma. Obi abewura ho. Yeah, nanse kra, e bia me kasa asem. Nanse a ejashi ikumasi. Can the first one say party dey ko back?
One.
Dr. Baumi Akoy. Even in running mate Napoko separately. Educhum Koy. Kennedy Agyapong Koy. Brian Champon Koy. Minority leader so Koy. And Ansana party. One party. Ansana party general secretary Suni party Koy. Can the first one say this Kennedy Ama general secretary ni chairman? Because in your 2 about we are. In your 2 December 7th. That cycle is over. Yeah, we are supposed to help the party. Because chairman general secretary, these are the 2 principal officers of the party.
But you know, this approach is even telling me how disjointed the party is.
I just say, me say me feeling na me raho. Obi frame say na Kwabena Agyei bi na me say dabi. De e koso no me ninye ho. Me raho. E say ma party for no. O ma koma ye o mo ya. They don't see that kind of cohesion at the top of the party, and we need to weld this party together as one. Eno na ebema party for ni agye. Sa so na ma party e ya akono. so enti media mesre say individualism no yemfa nto nchen me idea me ye bia was calculated at building this party say ebeboa party ni nyina yekoto aba the party fo be yinu yenim ebia na Kwabena Agyei Agyapong no be yina see yenim so me yekoto aba last time man anya bi kese no ye tu yi Dr. Baumia me de ma ho den mi nyansa mi ta na chi se satan na bi bu afu se da bi ye nkoso ni mu ne ne nko around the country
party first
yes ne enye free binum mia free binum kasa chiro pam se yem ta chire enya hwe yen ne ko I can see one hour no na party for no ato abama no ye to wie dia ye wie we are now starting a new cycle so nti se ye nyina wa adwempa ye wo anidie ma ye ho na ya anya nhyehyɛ na ma binum amfiu se dabre ade no ye hyehyɛ ma obi a ɛno na bema se ye to aba ne wie a ebema obi anya nkranhye kese e de akota de party be yi no
the anse abekɔ botaya na trimponti a osusu se bibia ko wie peyo na form ho no koye pampe a kieni kan hwɛ frankatofo no ni no ansa na yaba maybe other ones na yebeba sa botaya so na e de na ma ye free party kane Ghana kane because party kane is wura Ghana kane no e de na ma ye free ho abaye asumasinti obintinti
yeah Ghana for so kan obroni ka say ye enablers say Ghana ha nye politics nko obi nye sika kakra nipa ekoye no yodio na ye de dane form enye ye sum nipa sum sika dodo o de ebo minister de bia se me kasa se me hwe vetin si adenti na minister ko vetin ahemfo edom bedi wachi you should just go there with your wife and 1 or 2 kids and be our PS be an no let's be serious as a country enti ukoyesa na yese aye adidie bi obi a beta wachi because you ma pose bibi o ha ubedie it sets you in a very wrong trajectory for the country enti yenya we are too celebratory as a people president na yato abama no so man here na president so be your foreign minister eno answer wachro enye exams ni akase wo na wa be na e ama. So when you get political appointments, it is at the beck and call of the president. It's at the pleasure of the president. Yen nyina na ato aba na edutumi ahye nsa. Eno nche se unim ade sin obia. So, until there should be a certain level of humility. Say look, ye kwa akoye adwuma na ya Ghana for no. The way e betu edi minister na chi aba ho no kra na ya hye no ma. One where you become pig-headed. Na adwuma ne focus ade e da wani so ese obehye eboa oman na ye frio na Ghana for no ka ye say oh ayi bi o ha o na ye say eh we dey okọ abram kra wantimi ansi na nka ho yeah na ye say nipa me I was press secretary for close to 6 years I didn't add on to my real estate emfa me ho nya no ntina me koye say me kosom oban aman no kosom president kofo nam no so nam de asom aban no man ko say state property me kotobi I was dead against it up to today and if I had my way we will retrieve all of it and give it back in trust for the people of Ghana. And now go around the Accra Hani Kumasi. Ne high rises I wohi. And then Kasansas, young Tama people with political connections. And state interest, equity. And then all these huge real estate, no, ye won't 10% as a country. Ube feels like you be here 3 billion World Bank. If you consolidate it, that will be far in excess of that. And as a people, why do we treat ourselves like that? Why do we treat our country like that?
But that's why maybe you've been against Achimota and Ramsey side, say, yeah, Tuntons. Or even within those terms,
apart from the fact that my postgraduate in the University of Surrey was environmental and water engineering. So I'm very passionate about green issues. I said that. Ebi asi nyankopo amose yenko entrant yenjuri mura ni bibiengo ni ensisi adana ehye wonku yen ukọ abrochire Toronto no say ho efena the greenery the well manicured lawns billboards cry man for binsi ho chense opeso everybody ma odua grass now they are advert nti fefefe me enemy be me rehwe ya to aba we are in June eniema flags esinsen krom tantantan aye tantantan. So who is running the country? So is there no assembly in place? Obi en sorry na just say yekoyi na ya to abanewi. Nti frama mo no ananya tantantan na da. Ghana o kasa de etan ye etan. Me ko kasa ya na binu fi se me edwa me nyedwa no kra na meka. So we are living in filth. And so people are comfortable with living in filth. And yet, medium in pesa. Until when I will me campaign, but the Ghana former me chance. I will impose order and discipline, strict enforcement and observance of regulations. Let me share road a year. Yeah. I'm a civil engineer, and one of my majors in tech at the bachelor was a highway engineering. You will be a friend of right of way. We don't enforce the right of way in this country. Assemblies now will be the container BCO. No, I didn't scan. Until Drew says, Yina, World Bank says, scan every World Bank, I'm the BB human face. Until once I will go to Nipande, Obakase resettle an answer. It delays a lot of projects. So, into Miami colleagues, engineers, architects, planners, the technical people, yes, we are fairly Ghana kakra. Pa, I need their politicians, and yes, sir, and to me, financial politicians. We have to document our advice to the politicians. When you say that can say you know one far that you know assemble now they actually say them catch the penny no when so we need a new politician in this country. We need to recreate ourselves. We need to reorient ourselves. Your mindset no nye because political party back power. You feel say you need a crop from I say cake be near be
but it is wrong. Is it easy to change the mindset?
We have to. We the leaders have to. If I'm given the opportunity, I will change that. The country belongs to all of us. We are president. We are president for Yen. We are president for NDC for. Sasuna NPP or we are president for NPP for. So of course, you say akokoba ojina ne maame ho no. Onya abebesre. Of course, we party will power. Little near maybe advantages. We accept that. But this wholesale, because of that, we have tinkered with the public services, and I've protested this from President Kufuor's time.
It's now partisan.
It's terrible. You say. Public services. How? Ukwa adwuma bia mu a yes we NDC ni we NPP ni. Adom so be a public entity, it's a state entity. And some of them are technical organizations. Say GMPC, TOR, VRA, GAPOHA. These are engineering organizations that should be led by people who know what it is about. Yes, you can put in a manager at the top, but when president decides, even deputies, I feel the political hacks, it be quite descended to directors. I disagree. Some happened during our time, and it's even getting worse now. To the extent, say, I've seen on social media, and Krofo Kwejuma, me press secretary, will be a crime. Of course, those days, and near man to say, now who Kwejuma na cast, paper, na, it be quite a motto do state entity, I will call you, a party for home.
Coffee, no chat. Yeah.
My first day at work, now you pose. Yeah. Meanwhile, most of these state entities are in red. Mudika. They are in red. Go and check the State Enterprises Commission report. Yes, he said, I mean, I don't even like the change of these names. At the end of the town plan, and there will be a town plan. I feel they say a friend is a loose well. It's a mouthful. First, you can't town plan. OBN say planet towns.
And especially
it's complicated.
Okay.
Oh, media me feel say apart from politics, Ghana for so we've got to change our attitude towards things. Very important. Now leaders should lead by example. They should not sit down and let the parties pressure them too much. Now, state entities, let's restore professionalism, meritocracy to the state entities. Na omuntiminya adwuma na mpeja oman nsi kwampa so eno na megidi se ebe hia ma oman
engineer Kwabena Agyapong ana
there was one other
you better try how batisi ya ba or the one other you be so na fe trimponti osusu se frankatuni ni abato ndi kan ba so na manyukun and some other ones na ba we'll talk about that but yankombra in just a jiffy we'll be right back well that's so we should be our engineer Kwabena Agyei Agyapong and the chinkomo and saying you missed it, but we are still on. Before the break, now say, oh, Bakubi
proposals, constitutional amendments. First one was the expansion. Second one was the removal of the superdelegates system. Say after 2007, and I hear Coco pray and hear Dawson. Ti binu feeling say no ka ho na Ghana fo bufu ye o man to aba man 2008. Nti yɛde nhyehyɛ bi by say open nominations na yɛbro 5 a yɛnkɔ super delegates. Super delegates no almost nɔɔso the 276 chairmen constituency chairmen, the 272 regional executives, members of parliament. The last time I no me 137, they say only 88. Council of Elders 30, international branches. Now the hame crowd woman say you I was central say nipa wo hai chairman no pen beto bio. And so every overseas branch e the nipa 3.
Overseas for no branch we are
say Korea say nipa 50 say nipa SN omo the nipa 3 na beto. China ni
Debbie.
Say no mo ye no. And no, yes, sir. One more headquarters. That's right, because some made general secretary. And if you have a director of international relations, don't know ma. Ombeka say omontuma a friend is saying proxy. So it is liable to manipulation.
Very.
And to me feels that even the very composition of the super delegates, it can be abused. And yenyim free nipa ne noso nipa 800 there. So bottom yeah. Na me say o kasa o di nipa 500 na o bom siketua. Say o beto 500. So na askew election. And no nyako basa ape. The main election is destroyed because it sets a trend. Enti
Uskew.
Enti me say eno so mo nyimfrem send dey obia age atum. Eno so ka ho enti council no gye niam na me kan no dodo na atum na so dey hia kese a polling station. There na me feel say esom sande be kan ho. Enti presidential in there me di shemu keke as a rider say it me achieve sa expansion na me kan. Na nipa no be do
expansion here party ni entintim to
ase ho no ene ne hia. Na polling station for say o me 230,000. Na so kwa to 2018, 2014, 2010, now call 2008, I call it. You between 1 million. And if you allow the constituencies about 6 weeks, they can compute their registers and make sure so all the former party officers and the current one. Now, yamomo atuabano. Where are someone me feel say easy to understand. The same thing na mo ya mo say enko fa nipa 2 pe bi make up na nipa 2 no one ekoyi nipa 2. Who is going to one ekoyi and omo ye hwan no ma. Ade bia liable to discretion, any manipulation no. Enye se e bam na a confusion beba party no. So until me 2 safons and me share that sorry busa chairman say I didn't listen am de bro no na polling station kan me hu om say o ma ye na ye progressive na progressive ni 2 no.
So if you sum it about all the no one am no is to kill certain mischief be manipulation be and I feel
sikasem and wo mo ye yi wo ma free mu wo bu
afu no
until you kill all these things at once it will help the party. So enti enno me nam kwanya so bodero say party chairman na eyi ni nyina general secretary no memo no beba mo ho no mo hwem na mo fa nka ho say ye ba conference a ye mfa police station for no nka ho na wie NCP na ehu say ya expand ade ni ye as a start dachi no ye ben hyehyɛ ma obia okura card papa atua ni dues because ade ba ko ha party so microphone introduce me my level me ho 10 cedis a month da bia me kwa na my friend chairman secretary treasurer and now financial secretary me tua no 4 years ahead they say me say me dey be wie at the end of 2026 normally me tua 480 no around 500 cedis na me dey ama na o ma sign nti wo hwɛ me book no nti na me pɛ old book no enu bibia o
susu die no
wo mo me bo a wo call meka because me ho no kremofo dos me ye press secretary sikam de mo nyina hyehyem o mo kyerɛ da wase wo komo om car so mo nye campaign na hyem emo ye kyiriwia ni nyina de wom nipa no youth organizer e freni brenya or rise ya be di chairman say on the council of elders so it has all those records from 1996 is there card no and meaning say na a bit me contain these records nti time aye sa arrangement me ka say name ni bi wo ha abefo name na now we are placing far too much emphasis on it me de me party card dada no da bia hye me ho me fa ni agro kra so very important and also na kire say date we ni admit we card oh I was so west the na mahwehwa am say me tutututu kakra ndimi hu ba bia akwache no 92 de we 96 de so enti me de mesre party no obi a we bibi wo mbia no fa adwempa dodo ade ebeboa dodo ebeboa party na ma party na tintim say yes yes hye ne man nkrofo starting team po say yes hye ma nipa ba ku bia enye and people are beginning to feel that and I think it is not good for the party enti yenyai sa na yemiemu na at least polling station phone adada phone nyina emeka ho so na say ye super delegates no so free so two no so will be taken out now me feel say yes at the base of the party we will have the opportunity na beto no mayi ene wa obeyi uti so omo po asem na akoko asem na okoka no kwampa so omfu so ombeboa de ma wa nyina so unsa nka na wata ejire yankopon so yema dum na sem nsaka so na me so nyina beta
okay so remember so we are just about wrapping up lots of text messages key amongst them is that why not give Kwabena Agyapong that opportunity to lead the party so but you are a disciplinarian and your party seems to be in tatters things are falling apart. The center is not holding. Are you worried?
I'm worried.
You admit that there's no discipline now.
I wouldn't say that. We have challenges. Na ni nyina gina mpanimfo ni bi me makase. Party hwe ase na wonya opportunity se ma be gina ha ya. Wo kasaye, wo neye, ese emuye hwam na atwenipa aba party no. Na binom tie mpanimfo ni bi nsem wo mo ka. Pam nipa. You shouldn't do that because they say ye ho akire. Yeah, party for no over 2.5 million say yeah 12 my ye ho akire. Our first point of call say be attract our lost flock. See nya ji omo baka. And omo san hu say there be we dey nipa fufuro na aba adwempa na aba na ya. No be ba be kan wa. We are already strong. Osakufuadu got 6.7 million. Mahama got 6.2 million in 2020. In 2024, Mahama only moved by 100 plus, just under 200,000. Under any logical statistical progression, and KSW move from 6.7 to be a 7. And a drop to 4.6. I just say a party for none, a catch say, never be a more ye Casa Montiano, ye bet Chemos say Antoa, Muniabem. And the question so Omanto. And if you look at the results and glean it critically, you see, say, your strongholds, no only in the most depressing turnout. Let's just say, I'm for the boy who say, Omontuaba. And the essay, tear the Omokan, the Omokan, here, can say, Mumma, a quiny in and Metuaba Nibi. Near best says, Sibia says, ain't me, Mamuna and Tubia. At least one more my party, a Juma, one more polling station, a Juma, or my campaign, or the Tata poster, Omunina, Omunina, Samra, Omodamotasi. Almost so we can identify them. We can verify them and we can quantify them. That is not too hard an objective to achieve. And to maintain still I've been base na hu hia no ye yi omo frim. And there many omo nya adwene. But party no sebi nyame nkwa amadwene ye de beye. Ye nyina ato adwene. De memetimi aye se mesre party for me no mbe kasa. And na me kra dan me kan sem bi o conference. Me mpese e be pa Legon. Ne be voice vote na ye sa na aye basa. Kiebenya ye the proposals no kwa constituencies no omo executive committee meeting so now omo decide on the proposals tebia expansion a me sere omo se omo mfa polling station kan won mon ka so the council de ba na ya gini nyina atum sa dadafo no meto but ye mfa ayifo enka ho na mon vote for it na mon ka se bia out of 34 constituencies in Greater Accra no Imu 30 say a penny side we. Answer about Congress. We should do that. And that is the essence of why they say Fadiano a month ahead of time. Sana constituencies no etimi now we decided that until they say America almost call a year. Omo delegates vote a day because almost decided and sana omaba. And to say bia ye call Ashanti region 47. If you move 40 say ye percent if no be taking a decision already. Some of them show. Enti sa na say no esa one Congress no so one a contem because and I'm say I don't know a lawyer for friend we know say dey. E dey say proposals na doso. But nyani nyina na hu hia sesi. de hia kese ene saa expansion so enti binim say committee ni ba mo born eniema be edu so me fi say edu no kra mo betima reduce ntumi ensa bia na say we no na e dia constituencies ni na take decision no enti omo ba na omo nim say bia out of the 11 constituencies in Upper West emu 8 see epe so after the 15
it
makes it easier. Yes, say go through I say voice vote. Ni akofa nipa bego na asaya de no. Yes sir.
You better also but cutting across all the messages is one thing. Are you going for the flag bearing contest?
Yeah, and I'm in me jump the gun, but yeah, I'm preparing to do that and most likely early in July I'll make a formal declaration.
Yeah. Always a pleasure to be talking to you.
It's always a pleasure.
Kwabena Agyei Agyapong and what is I'm sure say you've learned a lot. Party faithfuls, party sympathizers, party members, their core is that open up, grassroots participation and discipline in the party. Order is key. Power for the party, we emanate from the people at the grassroots. In part of the process. When you have mentioned, you share with her, you be doing come on, you dance P, you know what that je, because social Adom TV, you bekasa.